What's up, my friend? We're out here in beautiful New York. We took it outside, and in today's video you're gonna learn how to get your 2-track beat to sit well with your vocals. My name is Macro from Mixing with Macro. I'm a recording and mixing engineer, and I've done recording and mixing for major record labels and many independent artists. And my goal is to help you streamline your mixing and recording process for fast and consistent results. That is why I created a free 5-step cheat sheet that will take your vocal from sounding dull to sounding professional. It's free in my description. It is a quick read. You can get through it in about 5 minutes, and you will have a mix in less than 30 minutes. All right, check it out. It's absolutely free. Now let me show you how to get your vocals to sound great with your 2-track beat. Okay, friend, welcome to my computer. Today I'm going to show you how to make your vocals sit well with a 2-track beat. It's a different process when you have stems. All right, you have control over a lot more. You have control over the individual instruments, and you're able to sit your vocal even deeper inside of your beat and make it sound one. All right, but for most times you just get the beat from YouTube, or you might just purchase a WAV lease, maybe a basic lease or something, where you don't have the track outs, you don't have the stems, and that's fine. Most records, believe it or not, they just use a 2-track beat, and you know, that's it. But stem mixing does give you a lot more control, and if you're someone who likes that, this video will only focus on the 2-track beat. I'm gonna break down in a future video how to do it with a stem, the out beat, so stay tuned for that. But if you have your 2-track beat here and you got your vocals and you're asking yourself, man, how do I make my vocals sit well with this 2-track beat, then you're in the right place. Okay, so I make beats as well. All the background music you hear right now are beats that I've made, and I've also shown my beats to artists and all these type of things as well. And as an engineer, I'm always playing beats for artists whenever they have producers send over beats to me to play for them, or if they have beats that they play off of themselves. And I notice a couple of things. One is the beats are always well mixed. Okay, why are they always well mixed? Are producers just amazing engineers or amazing mixers? Some of them are, but for a lot of them they're not. They just find that, okay, simple beats with few sounds placed in the stereo field attract artists because it makes space for the artist to sit. Now when the artist clicks play on the beat and it comes out nice and loud, the artist then visions themselves on the beat, especially if it's a beat they like and if the beat's very attractive. And usually for artists, louder means more attractive. So when the beat is more attractive, they tend to select those beats. So it's simple beats, sounds that are placed in the stereo field that would make space for the artist, and beats that are loud. That means producers are putting limiters on their beats. All right, so it's already, when you take the beat and you put in the Pro Tools or FL or Logic, Ableton, or whichever DAW you're using, it's already coming in very, very loud. Just keep that in mind. When it comes to the sounds in the beats, like your percussions, your kick, bass, melodies, like all those kind of things, usually those sounds are already mixed. So a lot of producers, they're downloading packs. There's a lot of pack sellers online, and people are just sharing packs left and right on Reddit. You know, all these drum sounds are well mixed, so the producer doesn't really have to do any mixing. They're not dealing with live sounds. It's usually sounds that other producers have created and then serve up online, and you could make beats out of it. And when it comes to the melody, you could either sample it from a song, or most times these loops are coming from other producers. Those loops are also mixed very well too. Good loop makers have loops where the low end is cut out, or the high end, you know, it's mixed very well. So when you get a beat that you like, as an artist, you're thinking like, wow, this beat sounds really good, it sounds clean, it's a type of vibe that I like, and that kind of stuff. So when you get that and you put it in your Pro Tools here or your DAW to start rapping to or singing to, it's already going to be sending it loud. So I'm going to mute all the vocals here and just listen to the beat. Let's put this back to 0 and look right here on this meter to see where the beat is already hitting at. it's very high, right? It's coming in very, very loud. So when you start rapping or you start singing, you're already competing with a lot of volume. Okay, so to make your vocals sit well in your beat, the first thing you got to do is turn the beat down. I know you might be thinking, man, if I turn the beat down, it's not going to hit as hard. You know, it's not going to, you know, have that impact that I like. You know, it's just going to sound more quieter now. But look at the meter again. You have a little bit more headroom. Okay, now as you create more headroom in your mix, now when your vocals come in, you're not competing trying to be louder than this beat. Now the beat is serving you instead of you having to serve the beat, so to speak. All right, now you can sing, get your ideas out, get your thoughts out, get your lyrics recorded so you can mix. Now with my template here that I serve up in my description, where you can see the exact plugins here that I use, the order which I use them, and if you watch my mix from scratch videos, you'll see me actually use these plugins on different types of songs with different types of artists, and you can see how effective it is. All right, it's in my description for free, so you can go grab that right now if you haven't yet. Now this is a good time to come to the vocals. Now when it comes to your vocal, because you don't have to do much with the beat because the beat is already mixed. Okay, you have a 2-track beat, you don't have to because I would see people pop up an EQ, right? They'll try to oh, I'm gonna take out the energy here and then I'm gonna dip where my vocals are gonna come in and all this stuff. It's like you're taking a lot away from the beat. You're taking a lot of character from the beat, the thing that makes you like the beat in the first place. You're taking it out, so you just have to focus on your vocals here. When it comes to my chain is set up so we can actually have vocals that sound great on 2-track beats. I hope my process has shown you that you don't need fancy plugins to get a great sounding vocal mix. Okay, of course you got to start with a great vocal recording. If you don't have a great vocal recording and you're using my chain or whichever chain you might be using, then it's going to be an uphill battle when it comes to getting a great mix out of it. So if you want to see me go more in depth on every single thing here, then grab the cheat sheet in the description and it'll explain to you exactly how to use this. And once you get those settings plugged in, if you still need more help, you can watch my mix from scratch videos where I go through and use these plugins on different types of songs so you can see how to best suit it for your needs. Let me deactivate these plugins and I'll go through really quick and show you how my chain helps with a 2-track beat. All right, so the first thing is turn it down. Okay, turn down the beat so when you record you're not fighting with a loud beat already, because when it comes to mastering or putting your limiter, I do have a master section in the PDF as well, in the PDF cheat sheet, so check that. When it comes to mastering, you can actually turn your beat up without sounding distorted. All right, so now let me unmute the vocals and listen to where the vocals is at right now in comparison with It's not very loud, right? Because microphones, they have a very small charge, the 48 volt, and it doesn't give you a lot of energy. That's why we have a preamp. That's a preamplifier where we can turn up the vocal before it starts hitting our plugins, so it can come in at a good level. But I know you probably don't have a nice preamp and everything. You probably maybe have a Apollo Twin or a Scarlett, or you know, just a normal home studio interface. And once you come in at a good level without distorting your vocal, then that's where you need to be. Okay, once you're in the green. Now here is what the vocal sounds like, and I'm gonna go through these plugins really fast. If you need more in depth, check my mix from scratch videos. I just dropped one with this artist JACE, who's really cool. So that's an R&B one, but I have rap ones as well. So this is basically how I get the vocal to sound even louder. Back in the beach and I bought everything in the store on God. Cute little bitch wanna follow me back to my home. You're already not fighting with the beat because you turn the beat down. It's a literally simple trick. And then I activate my second compressor. Yeah, back in the beach and I bought everything in the store on God. You can push more gain if you like or not. And with my second compressor, it's to have more control, because the RVox just gives you a compressor and a gain stage, but this second compressor gives you a little bit more control with the release and attack settings and the ratio settings as well. And and then I activate my EQs. I cut out a lot of muddiness. I give a little bit of high-end kick right there. My second EQ, what it's doing is cutting out a lot of that energy. This is the energy that we don't hear. It's not very audible to our ears, so we cut it out so it's not already clashing. Even though we don't hear this, it is still present in the mix if we do not cut it out. So you must cut out all this energy here, right? All that low energy so you sound nice and clean. Then I de-ess. This de-esser here is cutting out a lot of that harshness at 3K. So boom, I pull it down. I have the threshold serving that purpose there, and here is where I cut out a lot of the sibilance. That's the S sounds and the P sounds that, you know, hurt your ears. Control it, right? And then I thicken the vocal. Because why do you want to thicken the vocal? Because one, these two EQs here has been cutting a lot out of the vocal already. Yes, it might push these on the high end on both of these, but it is cutting more than it's actually boosting. So once it cuts and it controls those vocals, what's going to happen is that now we want to add good frequencies back in. If you were to thicken your vocal before you cut everything out, then you're boosting bad frequencies. If you then decide to cut vocals after you make it thick, then you're going to be cutting all the thickness that came from this plugin or this plugin. These two plugins serve very similar functions. This is more of an EQ plugin by Sound Toys, and this is Avid's lo-fi plugin, the stock plugin, and it gives me a little bit of distortion. Distortion just adds frequencies into a signal, into a sound. All right, so first you got to cut all the bad frequencies and then you add good frequencies. All right, and now once I add those good frequencies in, I use my SSL EQ to add even to sweeten my vocal, so to speak. So add that high-end sizzle that sounds really good on records. All right, and at this point, if you like, for instance, right now my vocals are sounding louder than my beat. Now you don't want to turn up your beat, because at the beginning of the video you're going to add more energy back into this meter, and you don't want that, because at your mixing stage you're going to want to use more headroom so you can make things nice and loud at that point. What you'd want to do is go to your RVOX and level things out. So pull down, because the RVOX is pushing a lot of gains. If I was to deactivate this RVOX, you'll see how much heavy lifting it's doing. So at this point I will turn this down. Right, once you got a good level from your RVOX, you then go to your mastering stage, and I showed this in my cheat sheet where you have the R compressor that adds a little bit of glue, and then you bring it up. All right, so let's look at our R compressor here, and it's going to tell you a lot on this meter if you got to turn things down even more. All right, so this is not the worst place for it to be up here, but a little bit lower would be more ideal. What we don't want is for it to be all the way up here and in the red, but here it's not bad. So now my vocals came in, it's a little bit loud. This is why I have my RVOX aux and my all music aux. So if you want to know how I built this template out, I have a video on my channel where I show you exactly how I built this template. So what I would do at this point is turn down from this stage, and then also turn down all music, because my beat is going into all music, so I would turn that down as well. Now look at the headroom here. Boom. You have enough headroom. I stay in the wheel. I got
can swerve in the snow. My little bitch wanna take pictures and pose. I kinda need cash, popping the towels. Bank account be on blouse. I call out the snow, pull that bitch, pull like 10 in a row. That bitch pressing, taking a roll. Tell that bitch don't hit my phone. Best you coming with a dome.
Alright, and there you have it. It's pretty simple. So if you were to take away anything from this video, the first thing you got to do is turn your beat down, because producers are making beats very loud, and it's for a good purpose, because when artists hears the beat, they're going to be more attracted to the beat if it's nice and loud, and they can envision themselves on the beat as well. Okay, and then you use the plugin chain. You have to understand how to manage your levels within your plugins and then balance it out with your beat. Like that, boom. And once you get it a nice balance, then you add the glue with your R compressor, and then you make things nice and loud with your L2 or your limiter, or whichever limiter you'd like to use. And it's that simple. If you don't need fancy plugins to do it, I provide all the plugins that I use in the cheat sheet. You can get them. You can get the stock version in your own DAW, or you can pay a small fee for a couple of them. I think they're like $20-$30 plugins that you can get, and the combination of all these plugins together are going to give you the sound that you're looking for. You just need to understand to turn down your beat. I think turn down your beat is one of the most important things from this video, and understand how to manage your levels so you're not distorting. And once you get that down, you're going to have vocals sitting well with your beat every single time. Keep in mind that every mix is not created equal. They're very similar, but there are different nuances that you have to consider, like where you recorded it, how loud you recorded it in, how much you're using your plugins, and when you're using your plugins and when you're not using your plugins, all of that. So consider all of that and you will be able to do it. But once you start by turning down your beat, you'll be just fine. All right, I'll talk in the next video. And that's it, my friend. That's how you do it. Go out there and be great at mixing, and remember, it will come in time when you understand the nuances between how to mix all of your songs. If you're an engineer, how to mix different artists and different types of songs. You will only get better with time. No trick, no technique. These little things will only help you for a little bit of time, but nothing would be better than experience. So go out there and make the best music that you can make. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.